Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Scott Faris, CEO of Infleqtion, to discuss the quantum tech market and anticipated consolidation in the latter half of 2023. Scott, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks. Great to be here today.
You got it. Recent developments in artificial intelligence are elevating computing's potential even further, but it still can't solve all the world's problems. Quantum computing could potentially change that. What type of solutions could it provide, and how is it different than classical computers?
Sure. Yeah, quantum computers are really a unique classification of computers. They've been worked on for the last couple of decades. Now we're starting to see them come into the mainstream. But they're a type of computers that are really focused on a unique set of problems that are really beyond the reach of classical computers. And so problems that have a lot of variables in them, a lot of moving variables, things like weather systems, financial markets, how molecules work, are problems that are really more akin to the scalability and capability of quantum computers, for example.
Are companies already leveraging quantum computing, and do you think it will replace traditional computers?
Companies are spending a lot of time understanding how to best leverage and deploy quantum computers as they evolve. Quantum computers will never replace classical computing. Again, they really address a unique set of problems that have been beyond the reach of classical computers. And so, again, these are things that potentially, as people like to call them, world-solving kind of problems. How do weather systems move? How does photosynthesis work, for example? How do drug molecules work? If we really understand the basic mechanisms of how these systems work, it allows us to design systems that could address things like renewable energy, global warming, healthcare issues, but also a lot of practical issues, just basic transportation logistics. Again, very complex type of systems, but even things where we're starting to see AI begin to merge with quantum, of helping autonomous cars figure out how to drive better and make better decisions.
Tell us about Infleqtions and the solutions it provides.
Sure. Infleqtion is a company. We've been around about 16 years. We're actually one of the original players in the quantum world. We've executed over 100 contracts with the U.S. government and helping the U.S. government start to understand, explore use cases for quantum technologies outside of computing, but also things in such as sensing and quantum communications. And so quantum itself has been around for a very long time. But again, it's really now, because of quantum computing, we're starting to see a lot of other applications to be unlocked in the marketplace as well.
And PNTC, precision navigation, timing, and communications, that's what you're really working on to accelerate that.
Absolutely. Our initial products are a portfolio of sensors that ultimately can be used to replace and enhance existing GPS technologies. And so one of the things we've learned, again, if you've driven a car and you're tethered to a GPS system, you lose signal. And that's not good for autonomous cars, for example. But as we start to look at next generation navigation, how to navigate more precisely, for example, how to navigate in maybe environments that are tough to get signal, requires a new generation of technologies that may not be tied to satellites. And so there's a lot of work going into how we look at quantum sensors, for example, to create what are called terrestrial GPS networks. And that's an area that, again, we've done a lot of work on that in the last 15 years, and we're starting to introduce products that will be used in those applications.
And Scott, I had mentioned at the top that you think we could see some consolidation or some deals at the latter half of 2023. What do you think could happen there?
Yeah, quantum is expensive. There's deep tech, and then there's quantum. It is an industry that requires a lot of specialized expertise. Just within our company alone, for example, we have over 100 physicists working on these challenges. And so it's a very unique labor pool, but it's also requires a lot of capital investment. And so given the broader attitude and focus of the financial markets, capital is not as abundant for quantum as it was a year ago. We think that's going to drive consolidation within compute and within other areas, but also this is complex to manufacture. And so much what it bears in resemblance to the semiconductor industry, it takes a lot of capital investment to make semiconductor chips. It's going to take a lot of capital investment to make quantum systems. And so we think between the capital consolidation and the complexities in manufacturing, those two factors are going to force a lot of companies to come together to figure out how they do it in a unified way.
And there's also extensive private and public markets, private, public, and government interaction there as well. I mean, you're working hand in hand.
Oh, absolutely. The government, U.S. government, foreign governments have been the largest investors historically in quantum sciences and technologies. With quantum computing really coming to the forefront, that's introduced private capital in the marketplace. And while that may be slowing down in some regards, it has opened the door for institutional investors, private investors to start understand the potential value creation opportunities around quantum. So we expect that really for the foreseeable future that it will be both private capital as well as public capital working together to identify the use cases. In the sensor world, a lot of the initial use case applications, the government is in fact the pioneering partner for those applications. We believe those markets also have significant commercial potential. One of the areas that we've been working in is an advanced timekeeping example as part of our GPS technology platform. Those same advanced timekeeping or clock technologies can be used to accelerate some of the challenges on existing networks around scaling AI, for example.
And Scott, finally, when do you think we'll be living in the quantum age at scale anyway?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Ages is one of those things that just kind of creep up on you. We now may be in the AI age, but AI has been around for a while. It's just now in the public mainstream. You know, quantum's been around for a long time. Anyone that's ever had an MRI, that's a quantum technology. And so quantum is slowly creeping into many applications. Again, quantum computing has really brought it to the forefront. But I really think the quantum information age is, I think, what we're starting to enter, and we're seeing the beginning signs of it. I think at scale, we're still several years out, but it's not decades out.
All right, Scott, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
All right, thank you.